Hi, my name is Dennis. I'm a psychic medium. So welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've just stumbled upon me and wondering what on earth this is, hi, welcome. Every now and then, when I receive, I'm in constant communication with my spirit team and my guides and the angels that are around me. We all have spirit guides, we all have angels around us, all of us. And I do like to have conversations with my guides and my team. And a lot of the conversations we have, I like to pass on the knowledge and the information for the betterment of everyone, really, because I feel that the information that I receive, like I've said, in other YouTubes, it's all well and good for me to receive this wonderful information, but if I sit on it, then what's the point if I don't share it? So I like to pass it on, and I like to share it. If this is something that you are interested in, or if it tickles your fancy, or if you are drawn this way, whatever, hit like, hit subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I'll post a link in the comments to my Facebook page, Spiritual Connections, where you can also follow me there if you like. Okay, so I want to kind of get stuck straight into this, because the conversation we were having was really, really important, and I really want to try and record it and kind of, have it documented, so to speak. So I want to try and really see if I can get there. We were talking about the soul. Okay, so my team and I were talking about the soul and the many incarnations that we take on. We were talking about the soul and what is the soul? How does the soul define itself? So when we incarnate, we plan our lives, we take on certain roles. Okay, we take on certain roles, and with our soul, with the incarnations that we have, we've lived many different lives, both past lives, future lives, current lives, parallel lives, all of it. There's so much going on. And when we die, we cross over into the spirit world as I believe it to be. And everyone has different belief systems. That's fine. That's okay. From my understanding and my belief system, when we die, we cross over into heaven, the spirit world, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And when we do that, we shed our human form. We shed it because it doesn't serve us in the spirit side of life. We leave it with the physical body, right? And so we go back to our natural state of being, which is an eternal soul. Because at the end of it all, that's what we all are, is an eternal soul. So when you're connecting with, when a medium, for example, is connecting in with a loved one, say it's your grandmother, right? And so you're connecting in with the grandmother. So that soul that took on that particular incarnation steps forward for the reader, for the sitter, and speaking through, communicating with energetically with the medium. And what that soul will do, in this instance the grandmother does, is give the medium information to validate for the loved one, for the sitter, that this is who they are. Because if they don't do that, then how do you know who you're speaking to? How do you know who you're connecting with? How do you know who you're communicating with? You don't. Hence why they validate who they are for the sitter. They'll give them information, and it's up to the medium to interpret this, to receive this information, pass it on, but they will give the medium information about who they are and who they were, so their loved one can validate and know, oh, that's my grandmother you're connecting with, that's so-and-so. So they'll give them information, specific little bits of information or whatever it may be, so that the soul of that grandmother can be identified. But when it's all done and dusted and the reading's over, that soul goes back to the spirit side of life. But that soul has not only lived as a grandmother, but that her soul has taken on many different roles, many different incarnations. It hasn't just lived the one incarnation. If you look back in our Akashic records, you can see all the lives that we've lived, all the lives that we have had, all the lives that we've currently got going on, and all the future lives, past lives, like I said, future, past lives, current lives, parallel lives. It's all documented there, it's all there, right? A soul does not just take on a one incarnation, and that's it. When it takes on a particular incarnation, when it's designing its life, that personality, our personalities develop as we grow, as we mature, as we're born. But with that soul, with that particular incarnation, with the person, our physical bodies, we have a personality. It's part of being human. But the soul, that's just one glimpse of who they are. It's just one glimpse of who we are. So to explain myself further, so me is Dennis. This is me. My name is Dennis. This is the incarnation that I've currently got going on. It's Dennis. This is how I identify myself. I'm a male. My name is Dennis. This is how I identify myself. But when I cross over, this life as Dennis is just a small little glimpse of who I am. I'm an eternal soul, as we all are. We are all eternal beings. We are all eternal souls. So this incarnation, this life as Dennis, is just a small little glimpse of who I am. I've had past lives and future lives and parallel lives where I've taken on many, many, many different roles, many, many different incarnations. And with those different roles and with those different incarnations that I've taken on board, I've taken on board different personality traits. I haven't just used the one personality throughout every single incarnation. What purpose and what point would that serve? In some incarnations, I might have been the saint. In some incarnations, I might have been an absolute nasty person. On one incarnation, I might have been the hero. In another incarnation, I might have been the villain. And everything and anything in between that you can possibly imagine, I've probably lived it and done it, as we all have. So with the different incarnations that we take on and the different roles we take on different personality traits, because those personalities that we take on board serve us a purpose and a point for this particular incarnation. It's all part of the experience that we long to have. It's part of the learning experience that we choose to have while we're on this earth. So a soul cannot be identified by one personality and that's it. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. We are just a small little glimpse of who I am. So like I said, this, me as Dennis is just a small part, a very small glimpse and a small aspect of who my soul is. This soul that chose to take on this incarnation, Dennis is just a small glimpse and part of that. I'm so much more than that. I'm an eternal soul, an eternal being having an experience. I chose this experience. I took this on board for whatever reasons that were my reasons. I took this on board to have this experience with all the lessons and all the hurdles and obstacles and everything in between, the good, the bad and the ugly, whatever it may be. I chose to take that on board, but I can't be identified as Dennis for all eternity, because Dennis, for me, is just a small glimpse of who I am. That's not the only thing that defines me. This life as Dennis, yeah, it's important and it's meaningful and it has its reasons and its purpose, yes, but it's a small glimpse, a very small glimpse as to who I truly am. I can't be defined and shouldn't be defined as just Dennis for all eternity. No, that's ridiculous, because I've lived so many different lives and taken on so many different incarnations and had so many different personalities. All of that blends and meshes into the one soul, which is me. When you strip back the layers, imagine an onion, when you strip back all those layers, you get down to the eternal soul, and we are an eternal soul that comes from pure God source energy. That is who we come from, and that is who we are, is unconditional pure love. All of this is just an experience. It all is just an experience. We all go through things, we all have our moments, but it's all just an experience, because at the end of the day, when we cross over, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter. You look back on it and think, well, that was that life, okay, great. Let's plan the next one. You don't hold grudges, you don't worry about things like that, because that doesn't matter. That petty stuff really doesn't matter. I kind of hope that I've explained myself. But I really had to kind of document that and get this down, because I just thought it was really important and really it was really eye-opening for me, and I just had to record this and kind of pass it on. But yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, the way that they're explaining it really is just simply that we aren't just the one incarnation, we aren't just that one thing. That's not who we are. We take on that personality for that particular incarnation, yes, but we can't be defined as just that. I'm not just Dennis. Yes, I took on this life and this role absolutely for this, the here and now. Yeah, this is who I am. But I've lived so many different lives, both future and past and current and parallel, and had many multiple personalities. You know, one incarnation, one personality. Like I said, I might have been an absolute nasty, nasty person. Another incarnation, I might have been an absolute saint. You don't know. But this, me as Dennis, this is just one aspect. This is just one tiny little aspect of who I really, really am on a soul level, and that is an eternal being, an eternal being that comes from unconditional love, from pure God source energy, as we all are, and we are all equal. We're all on the same level playing field, all of us. No one's better than anyone else. We are all equal. We are all come from unconditional love. We are all one. We are all the same. We are all equal, all of us. No one's better than anyone else. No one is. It's sometimes you do get caught up in certain moments when they happen. We do get caught up in certain moments and things like that. But sometimes you just need to just take a breath, take a breather, step back, and really reflect and go within. So yeah, I just wanted to record this. I just wanted to say that. So I hope it makes sense. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to me blab on. Hope that makes sense. Thank you. Love and light.